Are we? Okay. Brilliant. So first of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish all of you a very good afternoon. Post-lunch sessions are generally very boring, but I'll try to make it as interesting as possible, so stay tuned. Thank you very much to the entire organizing team of the World Tourism Forum Institute, the Dubai World Tourism Forum. And today we're really talking about a very interesting topic on what is the power of the technology itself, how it can disrupt the industry which we are here for, the travel and tourism industry. My first interaction with the Bitcoin in Dubai happened in December 2014, when the first Dubai Bitcoin and Blockchain Conference was launched on the 1st of December 2014. So it's been 8 interesting years since the evolution started, and quickly we looked at different panelists sharing views and thoughts about how the transformation has happened. And as early as 2015, the Prime Minister Office of Dubai had already launched initiatives to take it to a smart city level, to adopt blockchain. And they formed a core team, which I was proudly a part of, called the Dubai Blockchain Council, to actually look at different initiatives, including use cases. So they kind of matched demand and supply. On the demand side were government entities hungry to adopt the new technology. On the supply side, there were vendors like SAP, IBM, Oracle, who were really working from their Silicon Valley and other offices, were really working to kind of deploy solutions, including the large Big Four consulting organizations. So that moment and today's moment are completely different and exponential, and today's moments in the technology itself are becoming immersive. And why I'm talking about immersion is because the travel and tourism industry is giving us an immersive experience using this technology. So, we heard Haitham Matar from IHG talk about different touch points, and out of the 6,000 hotels, 4,000 of their hotels have gone digital, digitally enabled. And one interesting thought in the hotel, travel, tourism, aviation industry, that the building blocks of blockchain had started percolating to the core level quite early, and as early as, I would say, 2014-15, as the progression of the technology started. And so these were early adopters. Now they've actually gone mainstream, which is very interesting. I got the opportunity to work on few projects which transformed the way technology, blockchain technology, one of the challenges, and with this example, then I'll invite the panelists. The biggest challenge in the travel and tourism industry is loyalty. All of the hotels, the airlines have different loyalty programs, but the redemption of loyalty points, the quicker access you get to those loyalty points, the faster. It's actually, loyalty is on the balance sheet of a hotel or an airline. It's a big liability. It's a huge liability, customer loyalty points. And how do we transform this loyalty into something very interesting, which could be micro-redeemable? So I got an opportunity to work with a large airline, due to confidentiality reasons I cannot name, to actually deploy a loyalty-based solution for micro-redemption. So earlier, the challenge was that, if I flew from destination A to destination B, I actually had to present all my credentials, data of my travel, then claim my loyalty points. So it was a claim-based, like an insurance claim, right? If it's out of network and things like that, right? So that changed completely, and the airline was able to offer, using blockchain technology, quick redemption, creating an ecosystem of partners like IHG and other providers, like the Costa Coffees and the Starbucks. So if I had, say, 10,000 loyalty points of an airline, I can actually micro-redeem to a Costa Coffee or a gym near to me and things like that. So that's how the transformation has happened using this technology. To delve into a little bit deeper on really the disruptive power and the technicalities, I'd like to invite Meike Krautsheid, if I've spelled the name correctly. Meike is CCO and lead blockchain consultant of SmartLedger. Meike, welcome. Meike is based out of Germany, Munich. Have a seat, Meike. Oh, Cologne, okay. May I also welcome Markose, Chenthitta, Business Development and Partnerships at FMFW.io. Welcome, Markose. And Christian Gleich, Chief Strategy Officer and Futurist of OneBigWave. Christian, welcome, please. Welcome to the stage. Welcome. Have a seat. Thank you. So before we get started, may I kind of have a quick round of introductions from all of you, if you want to get started, Meike. Just tell about your position at SmartLedger and some of the innovations SmartLedger is coming up with.
Thank you, Samir. I'm Meike Krautsheid. I'm the CCO and lead blockchain consultant from SmartLedger. We, as SmartLedger, we are a blockchain solution distribution channel, and we have access to more than 250 patented blockchain innovations that we take and customize for the client's needs. That can be any industry, and we kind of like deliver the full house and not only one part of the house. And that's what we do with SmartLedger.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thanks for the introduction. And Markose, about yourselves, a quick introduction, and tell me a little bit about FMFW.io. You're based in Dubai, and you've also seen the transformation going back into the desert, into Austin, and back again into the desert. So can you? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. My name is Markose Chenthitta. I'm the business development and partnership leads at FMFW.io. FMFW.io is actually the rebrand of Bitcoin.com exchange. So we did the rebrand last year. If you're wondering what FMFW stands for, it's actually free the money, free the world. It's actually the message of Bitcoin.com when it started. So I'm here to help bring adoption with cryptocurrencies. So that's about it. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you very much. Christian, a quick introduction, and OneBigWave really sounds, a phenomenal jump. It's an exponential jump of the technology. So can you explain at OneBigWave, first of all, about your position at OneBigWave, and then how your company is kind of transforming the blockchain ecosystem?
Yeah. My name is Christian Gleich, and I'm the co-founder and chief strategy officer and futurist for OneBigWave. And you were absolutely right. We called it OneBigWave because it should picture the big step, the revolution that is upcoming within blockchain, within certain markets, within utilizing blockchain for different marketing reasons. And what we basically do is not only consult large global corporates by means of blockchain, but also by means of metaverse, one of the buzzwords right now, NFT, but also building platforms, own platforms, but also platforms for those likes that I mentioned, to utilize this new world, which also was a bit driven through new work and remote work.
Brilliant. So, we all know and we appreciate that, the blockchain technology is kind of used in consonance with Bitcoin, and earlier there was no clear differentiation between the Bitcoin blockchain and the blockchain technology itself. But as the technology has evolved, as the understanding and the awareness of people has evolved, what is also happening is really the disruptive power, the computing power, and the adoption of new applications, new platforms is evolving. So with that, and specifically touching today's topic around the disruption in the travel and tourism industry, some of the experts today on today's panel shared about digital passports to frictionless travel. We've seen Dubai Airport deploy a walk-through tunnel where absolutely there's no friction. Your boarding pass is all digital, and some of the countries are faster adopting. From a perspective, Meike, can you explain a little bit, deep dive into your company actually, with specific examples, the impact you're trying to create in the travel and tourism industry?
Sure. So first of all, when people think of blockchain technology, they mostly think about payment and fintech, but blockchain is not only crypto. And for sure, also for the tourism sector, likewise for other sectors, instant payments, like sending money within a second around the world for a fraction of a cent instead of paying 1 to 3% for the payment, this is already a massive thing and change. But for the tourism sector, I think I wouldn't speak of disruption, actually. I would speak of, well, because of disruption would be a break or interruption of normal processes, but I would speak of making processes much more effective, efficient, secure, and also extend the experience of users or travelers. So, for example, first of all, blockchain technology can break data silos. So updated data can be shared through all stakeholders at the same time. Also, we can digitize and automate contracts. For example, so not only blockchain technology, in combination with further technologies, for example, Ricardian contracts and smart contracts. So this will also be a wonderful thing for the tourism sector. Then another very hyped word in the blockchain space is currently NFTs, the so-called non-fungible tokens, which can, for example, represent tickets. We as SmartLedger provide, for example, Ticket Mint is upcoming. These are tickets which cannot be mitigated by fraud, and there is granular control over the tickets, they are traceable, and they can be used as collectibles and much, much more. And also, in the combination with the so-called metaverse, if you want to protect or create a new ecosystem, a new economy within the tourism, and protect the tourism sector for future pandemic situations. Let's think about the metaverse in combination with blockchain technology. And we can scan a full city on the centimeter exact, and you can provide on the metaverse digital or let's say tour guides, or you can book a hotel in the metaverse, or Yak, and so on. Or the experiences for travelers can be extended through AR, VR, XR, and
sure.
many more
A lot of
things.
information. So, one of the examples, Meike spoke about tickets, and I was, before the pandemic, I traveled to so many countries, and one day I was just sitting with my phone, and I just figured that in my passes folder, the Emirates passes folder, I actually looked up all my boarding passes, and by coincidence, my seat number was the same. And this is like smart allocation, right? And when I booked, there was already a recommendation of my possible seat which I should choose, right? So very interesting example, and that now I'm planning to create it an NFT for anybody out there, or just my family to kind of go notice when I'm no longer there in this universe, right? It could be a memory I have created over my travel. I'm gonna go back to you in terms of Bitcoin and your solutions, right? FMFW. The concept is around free market, free economy, interdependence. I almost see it like a universe which is actually free from any regulatory control. So I want to kind of bring in regulation a little bit here to make it more enticing.
Sure.
But have you seen and regulation from a travel and tourism sector impacting your state of work?
I guess I guess it depends on which region. But like, for example, FMFW, I mean, we operate globally, except the United States and Japan, just for various reasons, because the regulations there is super complicated, so we try to avoid it. The only time we will get into that market is in case if we are going to acquire an exchange over there. So that's what all, your Binance, your FTX, that's what they're doing. They just recently did in Japan. So that's kind of like, maybe our plan in the future. As far as regulation is concerned, obviously, we were founded on, like a free market, libertarian kind of principles. But at the same time, we also agree we have to also kind of like, work with the world that we live in. So we definitely we have to, work with some regulations. But also at the same time too, we also have to care about the users, their privacy and their information, because a lot of the centralized institutions, whether certain government agencies or corporate institutions, they have kind of messed up and leaked out a lot of information that created, bad reputation. So that's.
But have you also seen, specifically speaking on the travel and tourism industry, have you seen that some of the companies are utilizing platforms to create their own stable coins or currencies which can actually beat regulation and create a niche market for themselves, which is kind of becoming also today's norm? Some of the startups I've been kind of working with, they want to create their own currency, their own stable coins to acquire larger market share. Have you kind of noticed that happening in the travel and tourism industry?
I mean, I've noticed that just a little bit, but I can tell you from Bitcoin.com, we are the proponents of Bitcoin Cash, BCH.
Yeah.
So if you know Roger Ver, he's known as Bitcoin Jesus. So he has been very active in the Caribbean. So he has been working with governments. Even just two days ago, he has helped a member of parliament. He's receiving his salary in Bitcoin Cash.
Wow.
So that is I think he's the first guy from the St. Martin's Island. And also what's happening in the Caribbean, whether it's, the Bahamas or Barbados or many other Caribbean nations, a lot of the local businesses, they are starting to use Bitcoin Cash on a local level. So it's actually more like a peer-to-peer kind of business transaction. So here you're going to see, people increasing their financial confidence, and now they're learning on the blockchain. Definitely they're raising their human capital. So if you 10x that to many other places around the world, I think we can see more economic and financial freedom for the world.
And I think the millennial population, which is kind of actually adopting the technology very quickly, is what your next target would be. Especially, they are the ones who are traveling a lot. They're making, at a very early age, they're millionaires or crypto millionaires, actually, right? Trading, gamifying, and stuff like that. From a OneBigWave perspective, and with focus on the travel, what are some of the talking points you've seen from the industry in actually adopting a blockchain as a technology? Have you seen some challenges, some obstacles, or some positive feedback when they interact with you?
Yeah. I mean, Marcus just spoke about South by Southwest. In Austin, I don't know, for those of you who don't know South by, it's one of the biggest creative shows, creative conferences and expos in the world. And it's mind-blowing and it's breathtaking to see what happens there. And people ask me, companies that we consult ask me, like, how far is the metaverse away? Do we need to engage in this now? Is it the same as Second Life? Like questions that we all had in the very beginning. And then in Austin, you see metaverse and you see NFTs literally on every corner.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen the line going like 3 times around the block to just queue for a T-shirt that then could be made as an NFT. So you could basically own the physical T-shirt and then the NFT, which is a very small example, but it shows the exception and the adoption of the generations you talked about. And it's not about, and this is what I tell the companies we're working together with, it's not about if you can technically do it, you just do it. There must be a purpose, there must be an idea behind it to then use it for the better. For the better by means as of, I think today is Earth Hour, for our planet, as well as for marketing reasons, for business development reasons, and try what you can gain about it. And when you say what certain examples did I find for the tourism industry, again, South by is just like the latest example of a lot of people that I spoke to, C-suite people from hotel chains, basically, who talked about loyalty and discussed loyalty with me. How can we bring loyalty and revolutionize loyalty to the next level by means of the blockchain?
Right.
And the first thing they think about right now is NFT, non-fungible tokens, and metaverse. But there are already, and Meike knows best, I guess, and there will be so many new chances from the blockchain for all the industries, and this is what we really have to focus on. Second Life, to come back to Second Life, Second Life was a nice and easy, well, casual game basically. But now you can use those methodologies and the gamification you had in there to bring gamification into a monetizable stream, and this is gonna be huge.
Brilliant. You know, the European panel, the European Parliament panel spoke about, you know, different stakeholders coming in and trying to kind of merge the technologies to faster adopt by the stakeholders of the European Union. And similarly, in 2016 and 2017, I got a chance to work with the airline regulatory body, IATA, on a hackathon project. And literally, they had a new platform. That platform, they wanted to promote it across the airline community, aviation community, so that you know, more frameworks can be built on top of that platform. So the industry body is actually working very hard to bring several layers of technology like blockchain and AI for really experimentation purposes. And out of that, we had participation from all around the world. We had hackers all around the world come into Dubai, experiment the hacks, solve a specific challenge, and work for the good of the industry. So that congregation is also happening, driven by the industry bodies, which is very interesting. They are taking a key role. You know, in terms of the future, you know, we spoke about NFTs. We kind of also a little bit deep dived on really from a technical perspective. From your South by example, I remember the Burning Man. I'm still fascinated to go there. I've not been there, but I kind of had a Burning Man party here a couple of weeks ago, and that was fantastic in February, actually. So that was fantastic, you know, just to experience how that experience is. But literally, you know, what do you think, where is this technology going, or what is, according to you, is, from a SmartLedger perspective, how much innovation is happening as we speak, And where do you see blockchain in the next 5 years? And how fast can SmartLedger drive adoption?
Well, as we already have real-life use cases and real-life applications, we can instantly implement them in different industries. Sometimes we have to customize these innovations for the certain industry or certain customer, but it's already there. The current focus in the space, first of all, many companies or industries don't really know much about blockchain technology. So we need education, we need to spread the word, and the word is not only crypto and going to the moon and making lots of money overnight, but but the real actual use of the blockchain technology, and that's what we as SmartLedger are focusing on, and that's what we provide. Working blockchain solutions and to make the industry much more effective, efficient, secure, and attractive for
And is tourism on your top 3 list to kind of offer solutions to the travel and tourism industry from a solutions perspective, that they have the biggest challenges to solve and things like that?
Who judges what is the biggest challenge? I mean, everyone judges for himself. This is our biggest problem, and then I would, if I was a company and facing certain problems that are connected with processes that are too slow, too insecure, too resources consuming, then I would take a look or inform myself, are there solutions with the blockchain technology? And that's what we can discover. And in terms of adoption of the blockchain technology, I think the upcoming bear market will drive people to actually learn more about blockchain technology and not focusing only on the price movements on 5,000 plus shitcoins, but on the actual usage of the technology and use cases, and then the adoption of the technology will improve and evolve and develop.
So from an education perspective, FMFW, again, I don't know whether you have a specific alignment to the industry, to the tourism industry, but you might also be kind of tracking some of the people who are traveling a lot and using your solutions. Is there a preferential customer segment you're building up to kind of know really how this is being driven? What are they actually consuming it for and stuff like that?
I mean, honestly,
it's hard.
You know, so, I mean, thing is that right now there are so many projects out there that are trying to solve some of the many problems in the travel and tourism industry, whether it's, you know, like payments or, you know, like information tracking or storage or all kinds of stuff. But, you know, but I think eventually, like, for example, you know, Ariba, I mean, if you look at their platform, how it's so easy to use, it's reliable. So similar to that, that's going to, you know, help attract more people to use these kinds of platforms. And it'll also eventually, I think for the regular Joes and Janes out there, if they're using these platforms, I don't think they would care about what's behind, whether it's you know, BTC or some other blockchain or whatever. All they care about is the user experience. And most important thing is that cryptocurrencies and blockchain-based solutions need to be user-friendly and make the experience much more better without any, you know, central party interference. So
right.
That's the
Christian, you know, in terms of the technologies, different technologies merging, like we see the art industry becoming all NFT. The travel industry, some of the is actually being tokenized. I mean, I worked on a very interesting tokenized project, building recommendation systems on for travel tokens, okay, backed by a stable coin. Was very interesting project. Unfortunately, didn't get deployed. But are you able to see that the blockchain technology, the core blockchain technology, the NFT, the marketplaces like the OpenSea and others, and the new metaverse. Is there a pattern you're seeing that these are going to be kind of forming into a single, because I think that's what one big wave is, and trying to kind of exponentially look at technology as a whole.
Yeah. I mean, I think we have to start from the very beginning. Most people maybe have heard about the blockchain. But if you ask them what is the blockchain, most people give you at least not the right answer.
Right.
So, which is totally fine. So I'm not dissing anybody, but again, we heard in the policymaker panel before, we heard about education, and it's again that take away the complexity of blockchain and of the technical terms,
Yeah.
and make it tangible to them. This is what we do with our clients, to basically give them pictures from their industry and what blockchain means in the processes of their industry. And what helps a lot, to be honest, is ideation sessions, as well as innovation labs. I mean, it's old methodology, and,
Yeah.
and suddenly it comes up again, to explain to people, to decision makers, what is what, and how are things woven with each other. And this is, I think, the first step that we have to take to explain to people it's not just like a new buzzword that you can hop on and then you can hop off again in a year or so, because then some new buzzword will be there. But explain to them what it means to them, explain to them what's in it for them, like by means of monetization, basically. And also, how can we, coming back to the question, how can we combine all these technologies, platforms, ideas? And if we're honest, we're talking about something that we experience in the real world for decades.
Yeah.
In travel, in events, in conferences, in art. So
Yeah.
you go to a gallery, you like a picture, and then you buy it if you have the money.
Yeah.
And it's basically the same right now. You do this on a very tech level.
Yeah.
But, and this is what you said, it's very complex to use.
Yeah.
Like you have to know how to set up a wallet. Which wallet do I decide for? All these issues that are, well, solved by nerds and by geeks. But if you take a mainstream person that may have the funds and wants to have a wallet, they basically crawl Google to find out what is a wallet. Which one do I use? Do I have fees? So we have to again educate those.
So
people.
education piece in every scenario plays
Yes.
right now, because even if it is 8-10 years, but still it's the early adopter ecosystem we're talking about. While the crypto is kind of going mainstream and the governments are trying to battle the crypto to be regulated, but actually the adoption as a cohesive technology, blockchain as a cohesive technology, is still to see the light of the day. One example which I cannot stop sharing is when we were doing this project, is the biggest challenge is if I, as a loyalty member of an airline, I'm not able to kind of, if it takes the airline 7 to 14 days to credit my miles, right? Then it's for both, for the consumer as well as for the airline. It's it's lying there. So in this project, if you're flying from Dubai to San Francisco, there are two things which we worked upon, very interesting. One is if you're a first class or a business class, we started with a pilot with a first class customer that you can track your baggage using technology. So baggage trackers were allotted, and baggage tracking is a big problem to solve, by the way, for high net worth individuals. And they really like to see, using an Apple Watch, where my baggage is all the time. So very interesting, solved by technology, but again, for the elite class, right? So that's where it is going. And on the second side, that if I am able to immediately get to the immediate redemption as soon as I board the plane, I get a message on my watch saying, hey, you have 2 nights of Hilton in San Francisco waiting for you. right? Wouldn't it be nice, right? As soon as you board the plane in Dubai. So these things are happening, but again, adoption is going to be a big challenge. We have about a minute, and I want to kind of take some passing quick thoughts about where do you see the technology is going, and one or two sentences just to close out on the session today. So where do, in terms of adoption, how can we drive as a community, sitting in Dubai, what can we do for driving the quick adaptability of the technology as well as solutions which the blockchain is offering? Meike?
I think this is currently the best example, finding or creating such discussions, bringing out the word, sharing the knowledge, sharing thoughts and ideas. How can we start? And I think the tourism world will definitely 100% only profit from the usage of the blockchain technology in its combined innovations.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Over to you.
I guess for me, in terms of expanding blockchain adoption, I do see Gen Zs and Gen Alphas. They are definitely crypto native, and they understand these stuff way better. But I do hope and see where Gen Zs and Gen Alphas, even millennials too, talk to the parents, where they teach the parents about the technology, and the parents teach their kids financial education, financial values. So that'll, I think, help generate intergenerational family wealth for the future. So
all the transactions are happening over Discord as we speak. So Christian, before we close out, thank you for your feedback, please.
I see the same way as Marcus just said. You have to educate the people, and then it's not about finding some sort of use case, but find a proper use case, find a special use case, and find a use case that makes sense. And when you ask, like, where do we stand, I would quote Facebook: "The journey is 1% finished." So we still have a lot of trajectory before us, and I can only say it's a fantastic journey. Invite the people and talk to them in a language they understand, and as well make use of technology, because now it is there. It wasn't there years ago. Now it's there. Let's make use of it, but not for the sake of tech, but for the sake of our purpose.
Brilliant. So we're using technology as a purpose. I thank you for the additional 2 minutes given by the organizing committee. I hope all of you enjoyed the conversation today, this afternoon. Thank you, Meike. Thank you, Marcus and Christian, for honoring the stage, and thank you very much to the World Global Tourism Forum Institute and everybody else. Thank you very much.
Thank you.